Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wingcat Sports. Today is our weekly Red Wings breakdown. Happy New Year to everyone, as this is coming out on New Year's Day. The Red Wings went 1-2 this week. They lost to the Wild, who were about even with them, 6-3 in that first game. Again, defense seems to be the problem.
Yep. It's a problem. It's still the problem. It's been the problem for quite a while. They have a very tough January coming up, so they got to fix these problems if they hope to make the playoffs.
Yeah. Shot wise, we're about even on the game. They out hit us. You won more faceoffs than them. You had one power play goal. You were 50% on the power play. It's just those block shots. They had double the block shots. They had takeaways.
Yeah, how many shots on goal did they have?
They had 31.
Well, that ain't bad compared to what I've
is an
been
average
used
number,
to
but
it's actually good.
It is not the greatest game they had, but I mean, again, sometimes it seems to be goaltending, sometimes it seems to be defense. The middle game of our week against the Predators, you ended up pulling out a OT victory with a pretty good shot in overtime, but they outplayed you. 37 shots to 23.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was. I don't. The more people blame goaltending, I think most people realize that's not the major issue. It's the defense giving up all those shots on goal. It's kind of crazy. I thought they played pretty good against the Predators, at least even, but they weren't putting as many. They didn't put as many shots on goal.
Yeah.
But they came away with the victory. So what are you going to do?
Yeah, and then they ended up playing Boston New Year's Eve, as they play on New Year's Eve almost every single year. They ended up losing 5-3 at home. It always seems like they play Boston well. They always play the better teams pretty well. They outshot Boston 30-24. Out hit Boston. They won twice as many faceoffs. And they played a good game. They just couldn't come out with the win.
Right. It was the best game of the week for them. I thought by far. They came out engaged. They were hitting. They were physical. I hope, like I said, they need to be consistent, come out and play hard. I think it's the first time they've held somebody to under 30 shots on goal in quite a while. They still gave up, I don't know how many of them, they were like 2 empty net goals, though, right?
Yeah,
one empty net 3 goals. They played pretty good. Lyon played pretty good. He let by one bad goal that kind of deflected off, I think, Sherratt's skate. So he was a little bit more physical too tonight. Almost got in a fight. Punched that guy right in the face. That was great. He needs to do more of that. I think the whole team needs.
I mean, you had DeBrincat do it earlier in the year. You had
not fighting necessarily.
Get into a fight. There's more aggression is coming out, and I believe our goal for the team was to finish above 500 by the end of December, and they did do that. One game above 500, but they finished above 500.
They had the opportunity to be about 6, 7, 8 games above 500 was there. They don't show up every night, and their defense is just horrid. And like I said, if they're going to even hope to be above 500 and make the playoffs, they're going to have to fix that defensive problem. And they're going to have to get a little tougher, I think.
They started the new year. Well, they're going to start the new year about 3 points out of the wild card, which is 3 points behind Tampa Bay. And there's 3 teams ahead of them, all at 40 points. Again, we've already talked about it many times. The East is a difficult conference to play in.
It is.
Compared to the West. Almost all teams are roughly near or above 500. Your bottom 2 teams are Columbus, 12-18-8, and Ottawa, 14-18.
Right, that's not that far off.
And that's 5 wins. That's 3 wins away from what you're doing. So
I think we're only like what? Are we only 10 points behind the number 1 team?
We are 12 points.
Yeah, not much. I mean, no one's super dominant this year. The Rangers are certainly very good. Boston's good. They're not unbeatable, though. It's a very tough. Everybody is about the same, and everybody is just, has a chance to make the playoffs. And it's going to be rough if they don't fix these defensive lapses and win a few 2-1 games, 3-2 games. I feel bad. I think Patrick Kane is playing great. I
He's
don't know
probably
why
played the
we're
best
not
on our team.
right, and I don't know why we can't take advantage of that. I mean, he was everything we hoped he'd be, and yet we're still losing constantly.
Yeah. I mean, we got to figure out our stride like we've gone over. It's not going to be an easy month of January at all. You got 13 games. I think you at least have to keep on track with your 500. Try to get to February to where you can make your improvements. February is a small month, only 10 games in February, but through these 13 games, try to go 7-6 or 6-7. Right, like you got to
they have
try.
to find a way over a 10-game stretch to go 9-1, 8-2. They do to get back into this.
You do starting the month of January. We have 2 games in the first week, but I'll include Sunday because usually that's the Lions Day for videos. So including Sunday, you're gonna have 3 games that we're gonna go over for this week. That's the Sharks. You should beat the Sharks. Like I said last time, the Sharks
I think
aren't
they
a good
almost
team,
have
but
to.
you're going to San Jose. You're starting your West Coast trip. You got your California trip, not your West Coast trip. You're going to go play in San Jose on Tuesday. Thursday, you're in LA, a really, really good LA team who's in the top of the West.
Yep.
And then a surging Ducks team who is starting to play a little bit better than they have been, beat all the really good teams in the West recently. You should still win 2 out of the next 3. You should. And that's what we need to expect them to do.
That would be great. I hope they win all 3. They need to buckle down. I think this team, when it wants to, can play with any team out there. They have to find it in the urgency in them to come out and not let up. I thought, like I said today, you're going to lose some games. I mean, like you lost today. You didn't play bad defense today. You played pretty good. I can't fault them for today. I can fault them for Minnesota and losing to Anaheim and things like that. They have to find a way to consistently come out and play hard every game.
Yeah, it's a struggle when your goaltenders, of course, are getting hurt. Right, you're going to face another. Like I said, you're going to start in San Jose against a weakened Sharks team. You also are fighting your injuries. I mean, you have Villano, who's day to day, but he came back today. Petrie day to day, who was back today. Mata, who's day to day, who came back today, and Leinen, who came back today. So you got a lot of people who are still probably just getting over injuries. On top of the fact that it's probably going to run into a couple more. Luckily, your goaltending seems to be back. Leinen did get banged up today in his start.
Yeah, toughed it out. He played. I other than the 1 goal, I thought he played really well. He let that one little, but it was a deflection. I mean, it was, and he knew it. You could see it. He looked. He was like, God dang it! Thing just took a wrong turn and ended up between his pads. Should have had it, but
And again, the Sharks are only averaging 2 goals a game, which should be good for you because you need to score at least 4 to typically win a game. With how the defense has been. You're averaging 3.5 goals a game, 3.4 goals against, which again is not winning at all when you have that close of a goals for and goals against margin. San Jose typically lets up 4 goals. Now, last time you played them, you let up 6. Do not do that this time.
No.
At all. Please actually play defense. They have a low shots on per game, which is 25, and shots against is 35. And they still have a crappy power play at 18%.
Is Philip Zadina back?
Probably. He probably is.
That'll only benefit us.
Well, LA wise, like I said, LA's been hot. They're 28-5 right now. So they're a hot team. They're running 3 goaltenders too. They only got 1 guy injured. And they're averaging, again, 3 goals a game and only averaging 2.3 against. They're typically getting 34 shots on game, so that means they're probably going to get 45 against us. Pretty common against us. They have a 19% power play and an 86% penalty kill, so it's not going to, again, be easy to try and beat a team like that.
Right. I like that line of Kane. I didn't think I would, but the Kane, DeBrincat, Larkin line seems to be clicking pretty good. And our power play doesn't look bad. It looks like it's getting chances. We just have to, like I said, I don't know, just show up these games and give it everything. No let ups.
And then you got the Ducks. You can't let up against the Ducks either. They're like I said, they're getting hot, but they're a team you should beat. They're 13-22.
Yeah,
You
I guess
should
if you
beat
could
them.
come out of this month, considering what the schedule looks like,
Around
above
500
500. Yeah, I mean, right around 500, maybe a little above. You're going to be. I guess that's all we really can hope for.
For the month of January, you were only facing 2 teams below 500. That's the Ducks and the Senators at the end of the month, which by the end of the month, and the Sharks. So 3 teams. And the Senators might not even be below 500 by the time you face them.
And you've lost all 3 of those teams.
So it's not going to be the easiest month. You got to try and get to February. That has a tiny amount of games. You're not playing much in February. You only got 10 games before you make it, because February, March is your push. If you want to be a playoff team, February, March is your big push.
It is.
To be anywhere relevant.
You got to show Yzerman that you're worth it to maybe go after somebody at the trade deadline, because he's not going to do that. I mean, if he's shown in the past, he doesn't think he's making the playoffs, he's going to be selling some of these pieces off, like Patrick Kane, which would be unfortunate. Because I really like watching him in the Red Wings.
We would like playoff hockey to be back. We finally got playoff football back. We would like playoff hockey.
That's right. We're watching the Pack and the Vikings at the moment. So.
I want playoff hockey back. I want that excitement back.
I do. Yeah, I can't wait. I love playoff hockey.
Get everybody playing again. But with that being said, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe to all that fun stuff. Let me know what you think about the Wings in the comments recently with how they've been playing. Share the video around. Until next time, hope to see everybody soon.